not gangster. That's very not gangster.
I came up, got my name up. So when they speak of who blinged up, I'm who they bring up. Come up dissing and you'll come up missing. I'm a cutthroat baller like O.J. Simpson. I came up, got my name up. So when they speak of who blinged up, I'm who they bring up. Come up dissing and you'll come
Say that
up
again.
missing.
I couldn't hear you over the sound of me myself.
I done came up, got my name up. So when they speak of who blinged up, I'm who they bring up. Come up dissing and you'll come up missing. I'm a cutthroat baller like O.J. Simpson. Little homie, listen, try and serve me. I put a 25 in your back like Barry Bonds jersey. On the streets, on the beach, y'all ain't able. Cause too I shit on rappers like major labels. What's with the ice grilling, homie? Change your face. This heat'll do more to tan you to change your race. Girls love metaphor, and I love them back. Addicted to getting head, just call me the brainiac. Battle rap with words war like jihad. I write dope, flow crack, my notepad need rehab. Fuck y'all CDs, y'all can't see these or touch these. Rhyme so chronic, my songs give you the munchies.
What up, though? I am your host, YUNG, capital F, and the F stands for fresh. And if you can hear the sound of my voice, then you know that this is the Def Fresh Show. And I am your host. Like I just said. Why would I say my name again? I don't know. I'm tripping. I got my nigga Tone in the building.
What up?
He over there got a whole glass of Metamucil. Letting that spoon clink clink on each side. Real nigga shit. Clink 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 clink. Hey man, I swear sometimes if you could just see niggas' facial expressions, you'll fucking die. But
fuck you, dog. Real talk, dog.
We got special guests in the building today.
He really ain't special.
Well, I mean, we don't have, him here often.
Cause he over there doing his own thing.
Right. We got Mr. Carson in the building. One half of the Real Bar Talk, aka he's getting extorted by Tone just like I am, and just like me.
Nobody getting extorted.
We're gonna have to change this from TDR to the Extortion Network.
That's right.
I can't trademark EN because it's already owned.
Man, just you gonna have us out here like Tekashi 6ix9ine and shit.
No, ain't no us. Because when the feds come knocking, I'm snitching.
Yeah,
I ain't get paid. I'm telling on everybody I can.
I can't go down for racketeering, bro.
I'm not
We
racketeering.
on record saying that we was trying to figure out
Where the money was. So
Yeah, that's right.
See, for those out there listening, for some odd reason on Real Bar Talk this week, they came up with this big, huge, elaborate story that I am over here extorting money out of TDR. Now, TDR has been around for 7 years, right? And you have seen me as the brokest of brokes. So there's clearly no extorting coming on over here.
It's that bank heist all over.
I am smart, but I'm still broke as broke.
You're not one of them young niggas that run around wanting Lambo and all that type of shit. So, yeah.
I don't even think I can get out a car seat of a Lambo.
And the fact that you love sweater vests.
Biggest cover up.
Yeah.
Because if Tone ever,
Now I'm really believing.
if Tone ever show up in a Ferragamo belt, I'm whooping his
I can't
ass.
even spell Ferragamo.
I can't either, bro. You know, that's what I never understood. Niggas sell dope just to buy belts nowadays.
Niggas sell dope for all the wrong reasons, period.
I mean,
they sell dope to avoid paying child support.
And to buy belts. All these niggas wear the dirtiest fits with the nicest belts.
But niggas used to sell drugs.
Mimi,
to,
we just pull your mic up.
They used to sell drugs to provide
Yeah, that's
for
what I'm
their
saying.
family.
Right.
And now, niggas is getting busted on Fox 6 News because they got wads of money from selling drugs, but they ain't paying for their fucking kids.
It was a point in time where the drug dealer was the pillar of the community.
Like, I just don't understand. So you make all this money from selling drugs. You have the dirty, I mean, you ain't gotta be flashy, but man, you can get a pack of t-shirts from Walmart.
You ain't even gotta go from Walmart. You can go to the gas station.
You can get a pack of t-shirts. And you just out here with $30,000 on to your ear in the filthiest fit on Instagram with about 7,500 likes.
With a damn Metro phone.
Hanging from your neck.
They collars would be dirty.
Oh my man!
I don't know. When Redman was on, what was that, MTV Cribs, and he did a whole crack house and shit.
But you know he did that on purpose, though. He even said he did that on purpose.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but same thing.
Well, see, I understood his preference though. Like, just because you a rapper don't really mean you made it. Just because they hear you on the radio don't mean you famous.
Plus, he was talking about how the fact that there was a lot of rappers who the houses they showed you wasn't even their real houses. Like, it was some niggas stunting in, like, rich white folks' houses, saying this is my shit and I own all this and all that. Meth went the other way. He was like, hey, this the project I lived in. Here go the house I used to stay in. Yeah, my TV sitting on egg crates and wood.
Hey, somebody said that, though. They said, like, when they used to do, like, MTV Cribs, they would rent them houses.
Yeah, because wasn't Ja Rule house fake? Then they came out and said Dog Crib was fake.
His career was fake.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna take that back. No slander for Ja. Ja had a few hits.
Yeah.
But that's why he got my bar tab. He should have told 50, thank you for buying them tickets, because he wasn't going to sell that show out no motherfucking way.
You know what? After you said your bar tab that day, I actually thought about that, Doug. He wasn't going to sell that out.
Yeah, so he should have just said thank you and moved on about his way.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, to follow up to that bar tab, I heard that 50 bought the masters to Ja Records.
Come on, fam. What? The Masters, bro? Get a little nigga his ball back, bro.
If he bought the masters, dog, that is.
Well,
like
I mean, if Ja couldn't afford them, somebody had to buy them.
But your enemy has your masters, dog.
If they was up for sale, they was up for sale. That's just business.
That is true.
Ja gotta kill 50.
Why?
There's no other way this can end.
You know what? 50 might get bored one day and just release all his music on Tidal or something like that.
And get paid for it.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it's already on other streaming platforms.
Would you do that one?
What?
Would you go buy your enemy's masters?
Depending on if they were good and if anybody.
Does it matter? It's your enemy.
Yeah, it matter. I don't want to spend an X amount of money on some shit that ain't worth nothing.
I mean, it might not be good to you, but then, you know, just the simple fact one song pops up in a movie because it matches, you just got all that money back.
Then that means it was worth something to the people.
It was the right timing. Like saying, Silk the Shocker sucks ass, but all he needs is one song to play on somebody's movie.
Silk the Shocker's so trash, he resorted to doing WWE theme songs.
Anybody else other than Silk the Shocker suck ass? My phone number is...
Man, you gotta relax. This is not what we're talking about here.
That's not where we're going with this. Go back in your hoodie.
You just want people to suck on your booty hole, man.
Don't you gotta work in the morning?
Shouldn't you be sleep?
You're right.
I should. I know that.
Yeah.
All right, but just before Mimi actually answers that question, we got Tori in the building, one half of Real Bar Talk, like Juan said earlier. But what we normally do here on the Death Fresh Show is usually before shows debut, we had them come on the show, tell us a little bit about themselves, what they want to do. Tori is 13 episodes in at the time of this dropping, so we're going to actually sit down and have a conversation with this young man about...
For a little while.
For a little while. So, Carson, what made you get into podcasting?
You look old and sleepy.
That nigga look like you.
I'm sorry.
Goddamn Matt Murdock shades.
You need to do a little coke to wake up.
That's to hide my tears.
Damn, man. You crying the tears of a motherfucking clown?
Yes, because I'm tired. But what got me to get into podcasting, it started with people telling me on Facebook that I should actually have a podcast for my vast unpopular opinions. You know, such as Gravy doesn't go on rice, Tupac's crew was gay.
Wait, Gravy don't go on rice? What the fuck wrong with you?
Who wants to eat soupy rice? I don't understand it. You know, people can have your rice soup.
Like, what the fuck?
Have your rice soup if you want to.
That shit's fire.
These is the people that you bring under the TDR umbrella. I
Look.
blame you.
Okay, what other unpopular opinions you got?
Samuel L. Jackson plays the same character in every movie. Jennifer Lopez has absolutely no talent whatsoever.
Those are not unpopular opinions.
No, I agree with those last two.
Sam Jackson definitely plays the same nigga in every movie.
He's a nigger and everything. And we know Jennifer Lopez ain't got no talent because Ashanti sung like half her damn records on one album.
Kevin Hart was overrated.
Oh man, that's
hold that thought. Keep going.
I don't know. It's been a lot of them.
I definitely agree with that one. I cannot get into Kevin Hart.
Well,
I don't think he's really funny.
I'm happy that, black man is doing his thing and got some success under his belt, but I cannot watch him.
I
can't watch him.
I won't say Kevin Hart is overrated. I think it's to the point where it's like when there's not enough people at your level doing what you do, there's no competition. So unless you heavy
What does
into
he
the
do besides be annoying?
But no, I'm just saying like in
That's
general.
really it.
I'm just saying in general, like it's not like there's a plethora of comedians on the scene where
So
he's not everywhere.
So he's the Nicki Minaj of comedians.
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
I think my first sighting of Kevin Hart would have had to been Paper Soldier.
And that was the only time I found him funny.
And I really didn't even find him funny in that.
Yeah.
It was the supporting cast. Beans was funnier than he was.
Beans
he
was
was.
definitely the funniest
I'm
one.
saying like that's the only time that I laughed at him, like when Charlie Murphy said, and I think it was mostly the slap because Charlie Murphy slapped the fuck out of
Soul
him.
Plane, that was just compacted with so many different
Soul
people.
Plane was terrible.
But it was compacted with so many superstars, and
Yeah, everybody was funny.
I don't say everybody was funny. It was just a funny movie. It was,
I don't know. I can't even say that.
I just think that every comedian has their time when they have a time to shine.
Right, like I'm
And this
praying
is
that
Kevin's.
I'm praying that
Well,
somebody
yeah.
knocks him off
But-
his fucking high horse.
Yeah.
But it ain't happening
to
right
Mike
now.
F's point on the Breakfast Club, Mike said it happens like that. You know, everybody reaches their pinnacle, and eventually, you know, they fall off.
Right.
Well, why is Kevin Hart shaming people like Cat Williams, who had drug addiction problems and stay in trouble? Yeah, Cat could have been where Kevin was, but he had his issues and whatnot. But you never know when he could bounce back
Well,
and be on top. You don't stay on top in comedy for very long.
You can't. You really can't. Well, you have to change your lane to what you're doing.
Honestly, I don't feel like nobody got a chance to really stay on top in comedy because everybody's so motherfucking sensitive. What
And
do
now-
you make jokes about?
Right, that's what I'm saying. We're getting ready to get to that too. Because if you think about it, like Chris Rock is probably the closest comedian who's still somewhere, but he was smart enough to back up enough so he don't get too annoying. Do a movie or two, back up again. Do a movie or two, back up again. So he's doing enough to keep his name out there.
He's not oversaturated.
Right, he's not oversaturated.
Kevin
and shit.
Hart has
But I disagree with that
oversaturated
point because if I'm on top, I'm gonna get everything I can out of it right away
Right,
because I don't
that's-
know I'm not staying there, so I'm gonna just
Right.
flood the market with as many movies
But-
as I can. That way, when I fall off, I'd have made $100 million and I'm good.
Right, but you can be a marathon or you can be a sprinter. Kevin Hart is sprinting right now. Like you said, he's
Yeah,
putting
but why
everything out there.
shouldn't
And then the thing about it is what's really helping Kevin Hart is the fact that Dwayne Johnson puts him in damn near everything he does. So you know you got a bunch of people who are going to come out to see The Rock no matter what. And here's your
that's an
comic relief.
unfair point because look at Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller. They all Will Ferrell. They all a group of friends that put each other in damn near everything they do.
Adam
So how
Sandler
could-
be like,
Adam Sandler got a whole group of 8 people he keep with him in everything he do.
So,
just
I mean,
do
that's
this
not a
shit
fair point.
for my
But I'm
clip,
just saying
like
that's
Adam
part of the
Sandler.
reason why we see Kevin Hart so fucking much because he's buddied up with enough right people. Like even though Tiffany Haddish is basically his protege, she's out doing her own thing, and she's not flooding the market. She says annoying shit at times, but at least
But she hasn't got to the point where she can flood the market. When you get to the point where you can flood the market, I say do it. I mean,
it's
people
coming.
might not like it, but
it's coming.
It's
But
coming.
do it.
clearly she got hot sauce, her picture on hot sauce and shit.
Yeah, she is coming. She getting there.
Or is it seasoning sauce?
It's
One is-
seasoning.
But again, like when I listened to that interview on the Breakfast Club, I mean, Mike Epps made some valid points and some things I never thought about. Once you get into Hollywood, they got what they call, well, fictitious, but they're real. I mean, they call it gatekeepers.
Right.
You the dude that made it, now you a gatekeeper at the gate, and you the dude is telling Hollywood who was valid and who ain't.
Right.
Well, Kevin Hart got to that point. Okay, yeah, he funny, fuck with him, but I don't like him, and you can pinpoint who's gonna make it in and who's not.
Right.
That's just like in jobs and you
Yeah,
know,
it's like
you got
anywhere.
HR and shit. You get the job, you don't. It's anything.
That's like Milwaukee Fire White Guy Security.
Yeah, yeah. But at the end of the day, you get these people that become gatekeepers, and now they saying, or like Kevin Hart, who's made it so top, he's on the Breakfast Club, basically telling Cat Williams, "Come for me, I'm bulletproof." That's a lie.
That is true.
Because you've seen them tear down so many of our other, bulletproof celebrities. Bill Cosby being one. Bill Cosby at one point was an untouchable American dad or whatever. They found up shit from 30 years ago that he did to bury him. What makes you think they couldn't get Kevin Hart if they wanted to get him?
I mean, I ain't saying that they can't get him. They just ain't went and got him yet.
Exactly. So don't ever think that you're so untouchable that a person cannot get to you.
I just hope we got another funny motherfucker on top before they get him.
Oh, don't worry. Hollywood
they
always
always
have.
have. There's always somebody in the wing that you don't expect is coming up. Like, you know what? The funny part is, Lil Rel is definitely moving up.
He is not. That show is terrible.
No. But
Okay, wait.
He's moving up.
Wait.
Not every show, their first show was good. Because let's look at Flex Washington. His first show was horrible. But he still kept making moves, and he got to, what is it, All of Us? Or One-on-One? One-on-One.
All of Us was what, Dwayne Martin?
Yeah, Dwayne Martin. And until he did the Michael Jackson, that's when he fell off.
Rel's TV show is terrible, but his stand-up isn't bad.
Right. And he's got movies under his belt.
And that's how I feel about, like, Mike Epps. Like, Mike Epps, when he does movies, I think Mike Epps is very funny. But when Mike Epps is standing on a stage for an hour and a half with a microphone telling jokes, oh, that's the worst shit ever. I can't watch it. Like Marlon Wayans. Like, I didn't think his stand-up wasn't trash, but it wasn't funny.
No, but on movies, he's hilarious.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans is damn funny.
Everybody has their lane. Comedy has so many different direct lanes that a comedian can come up in many different ways. Like, now, this generation, we have the internet comedians. People like D. Storm Powers and, what's it, King Cruch, what his name is? Ones who make little skits of comedies and do little things like that. That's the new lane right now, because a lot of them are now transitioning over to being on Wild 'N Out, which is another avenue for some comedians.
Which is what I don't think my nigga gets enough credit for.
Who,
like, Nick Cannon is putting this generation's comedians in the driver's seat.
Yeah, he is.
Because a lot of niggas that we found funny on the internet, he gives them that platform on TV, and now most of them niggas are doing other shit.
But at the same time, then he also becomes a gatekeeper. Now he's telling people who's to do what, you're good enough to get in, you're not good enough to get in. I don't think anybody really has a fair shake.
I think he's a valid gatekeeper.
Because
in
Hollywood,
yes.
When we watch TV and shit, most people have to be marketable.
Right.
For one, if they don't feel that you look a certain way or you appeal to a certain audience,
say it to white people.
You may be funnier than the next motherfucker, but guess what you turn to be?
Just say it.
The
You
writer.
have to appeal to white people.
Yeah, like,
because there's a lot of the writers are the real funny ones, and actually, to be honest, the writers are 9 times out of 10 the ones that get paid the most. Because you can write for this person and then go write for this person and then go write for that person and collect checks from all three. But you'll never be the person out front to have all the stardom and shit because you weren't marketable. Because like Cat Williams himself said, when they look at Hollywood, you have to be somebody that women want to sleep with and men want to be. That's how they pick you.
Yeah, I don't want to be Cat Williams.
So if you want to be in the big screen, you got to be somebody men want to be and women want to sleep with. For them to even take you serious.
Why the fuck Kevin Hart keep getting jobs?
Don't ask me.
I thought you knew.
Why Kevin Hart keep getting jobs?
Yeah,
because he know the right people.
Same reason why Kevin Costner keeps getting work.
Kevin Costner ain't had work in a while. Niggas is still trying to finish his movies from before because they so fucking long.
He was in Man of Steel. He'll always have a job.
He died.
What? He'll be back. No one's ever dead in comic book movies.
It's true. It's the dad.
Speaking of comic book movies, are you excited for Aquaman?
I'm just gonna see how this shit plays out. I can't get
Ain't
excited
nobody
for DC movies.
I'm just finally happy.
That. You did ask. You said, are you excited about Aquaman?
I was talking to him.
You didn't say a name, though.
Yeah.
Shut up, Tom.
I mean, because I started chiming in.
Man, see? You weren't.
Did you see my eye focus that way across the room?
No. You got glasses on.
That's because yours is fucking closed, sleepy ass nigga.
What you not gonna do?
Them thick ass glasses got that fucking glare.
Right, I was like, you got your glasses on. You got a glare.
My glasses ain't even thick, G. Recognize.
Anyway, I'm not excited to see the movie. I'm just glad for the first time ever Aquaman is not being portrayed as no punk bitch who rides seahorses. Because dog has been getting shafted since like the Super Friends.
He be getting fucked.
Now you done said ride and shafted talking about Aquaman, and everybody know how I feel about that.
It was definitely the setup. It was a setup, me.
Aquaman gets me Aquaman.
If you don't get your Aquafina at the shit, you be in bed.
Aqua Velvet,
Aqua Boogie. Alright, so
I mean, but yeah, you know, so how do you feel about DC as a whole?
Depends. Do you mean the movies or the animes?
DCEU, the movies. I mean, animation is valid.
Animation is beyond valid.
More than valid.
But it's the cinematic universe, they can't really seem to get their shit together.
No.
Maybe they should call Kevin Feige.
Michael Bay, somebody.
No, man, fuck Michael Bay. Michael Bay just want to blow shit up.
Now, like, I thought they were on point. They had got their shit together with the whole Dark Knight series. Because I'm like, these shits is cold.
Wasn't that Christopher Nolan?
Yeah.
And then they turn around and they start with the... Well, actually, the same guy that did The Dark Knight did Man of Steel. So, I'm like, Man of Steel was actually great. It gave you a different look into the whole Superman thing. Is what he was going through as a kid when his powers were developing and not knowing what the fuck to do, and just a whole different look to Superman.
Right.
I'm like, it was a great movie. Then they turn around and fuck everything up with this whole Justice League. No,
Batman Superman was
Batman Superman was terrible. Then the Justice League was and then if they had did like Suicide Squad wasn't bad, but had they did it like Assault on Arkham, it would have been a stellar movie.
Okay, so do you think we should have got a standalone Batman movie before they did Batman vs Superman?
If they had just piggybacked off of Dark Knight Rises, it would all been fine because it would all played into.
See,
that's what the Marvel universe got over everybody else.
Right.
They took their one movie and they turned it into two movies, and they turned it into three movies with different characters. So you get your Iron Man, and then you turn around and you bring in Cap. Then you bring out your Incredible Hulk movie. Then you have an Iron Man at the end of the Incredible Hulk movie coming and talking to the Colonel. So then you spin it off, and then you make an Avengers movie.
That's how they made them connect, though, right?
But the end is always what made them connect.
Right, because watching the movies is like one has nothing to do with the other.
But what DC tried to do is they're trying to make that movie need the other movies to tell the story.
No, you need
because if
nice
you look
end credit scene to connect everything.
Kind of, because if you think about it, in Batman versus Superman, the first at least 30 minutes of the movie was, meanwhile on the other side of town, this is what was going on. From the last 30 minutes of Superman, which the concept was smart, it was good. It was in the middle of trying to explain why Batman and Superman are even working together when they were fighting each other to begin with.
Martha.
That right there is probably the dumbest shit ever you could come up with.
Well, look, if you had did it basically when Batman decided he was going to retire at the end of Dark Knight Rises after getting his ass whooped by Bane the whole movie, and then you had brought him back saying that this was going on right outside of Gotham or whatever. Now, I'm not saying you should have had the same guy play him. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't have had Ben Affleck, but you should have tied it into the movie. I would have preferred, even though I hated, what's his name?
Who?
That played Dark Knight? Christian Bale.
Bale, yeah.
So I would have preferred you would have just kept Christian Bale.
Well, he didn't want to do the role anymore, so we was gonna ultimately have to find another
dump some more money in his pocket.
Right.
They all signed up for the money, so
right, because that's where Marvel got it right. They gave these niggas a shitload of money to play the same role for 10 years. Hugh Jackman's been Wolverine for God knows how fucking long.
What, they're going on 17 years now,
yeah,
something like that?
Marvel just got everything right. I think.
If you
Marvel
went to
like
Christian
a
Bale and
accident.
be like, "Hey, Christian, all right, fuck it, we'll give you extra $10 million to do 2 more movies on top of what we would have paid you for the regular movies," Christian Bale would have probably said, "Okay." Now you bring Christian Bale over to this Superman versus Batman. And the stories would at least tied in because we've already identified him as Batman. We have a backstory from other movies on him being Batman. So now he ties in. And then you bring him in again for the Justice League movie.
The one thing I did like about the Justice League movie, though, was how they incorporated Cyborg.
You hear that, Warner Brothers? Get your shit together.
I mean, they ain't got no choice. Either wrap it up now and just call it a fucking day, or they got to fix it, because once Disney get this streaming service off the ground, it's a wrap.
I mean, but if Warner Brothers really want to do some shit just to make some money and nobody's going to give a fuck about, go ahead and give us a live action version of DC versus Mortal Kombat.
Why?
I don't know. Why is it a video game? Why is it a video game?
Actually, you know what? The way that they're putting these previews out now for like the Mortal Kombat game that's getting ready to drop in March.
We're getting ready to talk about that in a minute.
That's what
they could actually turn that shit into a legit Mortal Kombat movie.
But here's the thing, though. If you ever pay attention to any of these video games, they have the fucking movie in the game.
Well,
yeah, so you could turn it into a legit movie, though.
From what I was reading, because I've been saying I want another Mortal Kombat movie for a long ass time. They were saying that they were trying to find a director for it, and then they attached the dude who did the Saw series to the Mortal Kombat franchise.
Well, I don't want a live Mortal Kombat movie. I want one of them, like not even animated, like 3D movies.
CG'd.
Yeah.
Like a CGI?
Because you can do so much. I mean, you can do so much.
You can do more with it. Like when you get to the point where you have to set Scorpion on fire or make Raiden do the teleportation with the lightning. It's cool with a live one, but if you do it all CG, you get a better vibe out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you can really break people's spines and shit without having to do all these.
I'm here for any
aesthetics and shit.
Any adaptation of a Mortal Kombat movie. Because I just feel like Mortal Kombat might have the greatest backstory ever to have never been like a cartoon or a fucking comic book.
It is a comic book. That's the crazy part. Everything is a comic book now.
Well, I can believe it's a comic book now, but like in '92, it was just a fucking arcade game
that had a comic book that went along with it.
I've never read it.
Yeah, a lot of stuff use comic books as like filler stories. Like prime example, Injustice. The game has a pretty dope ass storyline in it. They've even turned it into a couple of animated, skits on the low. But the comics that go with it fleshes that story out so much better.
I think Gods Among Us really was the best story though.
That's the first one, ain't it?
Yep, that's the one that kicked it off.
He kills Joker.
But it's an actual comic story though, so that's the cool part about it.
Why did he kill Joker?
Yeah, you got to realize Joker got tired of playing cat and mouse with Batman, so he wanted to go fuck with something new. So he went over to Metropolis.
Joker wasn't ready.
The game took something out. The game took something out that's left in the comics. So basically, what happened was he kidnapped Lois Lane to fuck with Soup, because he says that any hero can be broken if pushed to the right level. He put Lois Lane in the lead submarine, so the bats had to be busy trying to figure out where Lois is. Meanwhile, Joker put this bomb in Metropolis. He had the detonator hooked up to Lois, so if Lois dies, the bomb goes off. So it's forcing Bat and Soup to try to work together to find her. What happened was when they finally opened up the sub, all this Joker toxin came out. So you see your worst fear. Of course, Bats is always ready because he's been dealing with Joker. Soup didn't know. So Soup opened it up and seen Doomsday in there. And immediately started just beating the shit out of Doomsday. Took him all the way into outer space because that's the only way he gonna kill her. When he got in outer space, the gas wore off and he realized it was Lois. So he killed Lois.
Damn.
But what he didn't know was Lois was pregnant.
Right. Now,
Damn.
What happened was when he killed Lois, Metropolis blew up. Now, Bats has, got Joker whooping him up, trying to get him to confess, do stuff like that. Soup came top speed from like the moon all the way to that building and just put his fist straight through Joker's gut. He said, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of these villains. I'm sick of this way of living. And it was on and popping from there on out.
Oh, man, they shouldn't have arrested Superman for that.
Oh, they didn't. Soup said he's sick of this shit, and he basically took over the world.
Joker had to die.
He offed Green Arrow. He let Aquaman run rampant.
Basically, they locked at the end. They locked Superman up. That's where Injustice 2 comes in.
Yeah, like I like to sit on YouTube and do weird shit. Like I'll just watch the cinematic trailer of the video game. It's like an hour-long story. It's like, hey man, this shit's fucking great.
But really, that was one of the best stories next to World War Hulk.
Now, why the fuck they can't do that shit in the fucking movie?
World War Hulk was supposed to be Thor Ragnarok.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about like when you watch the DC,
Planet Hulk was supposed to be.
Planet Hulk.
you watch the DC version of a fucking video game, and you're like, why the fuck they can't make this movie that's good?
I don't know. I've been saying that for years. Like, we got comic book movies out right now, yet nobody wants to follow the comics when it's literally written out for you.
Hey, y'all want to make a movie? Pause.
That was like, that sounded kanky, dog.
I was gonna say, y'all on the lake train.
Yes, I found your sex tape behind the TV.
Oh, man, that's
That
nasty.
wasn't my sex tape.
That's...
So you had somebody else's
Entitled sex tape.
You had somebody
because
else's sex tape
I
behind the TV.
am not a caveman. All of my shit is digital.
That was a whole DVD.
Man, porn used to be cold when it was on DVD.
Used to be.
Wait, it was just a CD that said sex tape?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Right. So what? I know it was a movie, but it's the simple fact that if you come over by somebody's house and you see a DVD sitting there and just say sex tape.
Y'all think they got porn in 4K?
Yes.
You don't want to watch it.
I don't know, man. Them titties in 4K might be...
First of all, you got to have a 4K
They're not
TV to
beautiful.
justify.
You don't want to watch it.
You don't want to see a man thrusting up inside of a woman in 4K.
Nah, I would only watch
You
lesbian
go
porn in
see
4K.
like
The hair bumps.
me and pubic
you be watching like, oh damn, she ain't shaved. I can't even get with this.
Nah, it's too.
That's you.
This nasty fucker. Speaking of nasty fuckers. So,
Ew.
yeah, R. Kelly. So,
Why is this nigga still free? Like, we killed Bin Laden, we killed Saddam Hussein.
Cause he's a bad man.
Like,
Not ashamed of.
like, why the fuck is R. Kelly still free?
all right. So, for those of you guys who don't know, there is a new docu-series that's set to drop in January called Surviving R. Kelly. Apparently, after all these accusations of everything from him pissing on the little girl, who we later found out was Sparkle, one of his singer's niece, all the way to him possibly having, yet still not confirmed, a sex cult.
Bro, he married Aaliyah. What more fucking proof did these niggas want?
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I didn't like the...
Then what are you saying?
I'm just reading the story.
Fuck this story.
I'm telling the narrative. So, all these people...
Are you on his side?
No, I am not, kind sir.
Just thought I'd ask.
No, when they first came out, it was like, arrest that nigga. I was like, he got to go. Then
Nigga
he got
said
off.
he wanted to marry his mom.
And then he got off.
R. Kelly.
Pause.
R. Kelly is a filthy
No, it made me
motherfucker.
think of that dude from Strange Things About the Johnsons.
Yes. That was a terrible movie.
Hey, I found that shit funny as fuck.
But you know the dude who directed that purposefully flipped the role like that to make people really accept the fact that this shit goes on in people's homes?
Where does that shit go?
No. What I say? No, I'm saying like they flipped the script up instead of the dads touching the little boys and stuff like that. They flipped it at the little boy is doing it to the dad, because you gonna remember that. You gonna remember a 15-minute movie about a son who is molesting and raping his dad, and the mom is letting it happen.
But you gonna remember for all the wrong reasons.
So
Right.
She turned that.
She turned the
up so
TV
cold.
up on him, dog.
Like, the opening scene just let you know that this one to be some bullshit.
Bullshit.
We in there whacking into a picture of his pops.
Like, it was a regular, ordinary picture too, dog.
I'm sorry. When he bust in that bathroom and
Duh.
dude screamed, I lost it. I talk about tears of. I was at work watching this shit because I think somebody said it on Facebook and it was like a trending topic or whatever. The tears start scrolling down my face at work as I'm there laughing at.
Terrible human beings for laughing at that man's pain.
You didn't hear how he screamed.
I did hear how you screamed. I laughed too.
The top of his little,
I
that little thing that hang from the back of your tonsils and shit was jumping up and down.
But the thing about the situation was, this past Tuesday they did a private screening of the Surviving R. Kelly documentary with all the participants who are basically people who have been victim of R. Kelly, in so many words. Within 20 minutes of the actual screening, somebody actually called in and made phone threats A male caller said that somebody in the audience with their gun would open fire if the screening continued. They immediately evacuated the venue. A lot of people are assuming that R. Kelly basically called the hit out on this, and he basically didn't want to get slandered. I want to know what you guys feel about this situation. Do you really feel like...
Why the fuck is he free?
He had good lawyers. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Nigga, somebody better than Johnny Cocker?
Apparently so. He's free and he kept making music. And that's another thing. I think he got away with a lot of shit because he kept making good music. And folks forgave him.
Man, somebody gotta lock this nigga up.
He need to get shot. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like motherfuckers is like, hey, he did it. I'm a victim. And motherfuckers just like, shut
We
the
don't
fuck
believe
up.
you. Right, it's R. Kelly. We don't believe you. Like,
and what do we encourage people to do when they're victims? Come forward. Tell your story. If you got 20 motherfuckers saying, hey, he did it, I think he did it.
but they are coming forward and making money by making a documentary about it. And he's apparently, or somebody, is threatening his life.
Look, he should be locked up and Sparkle should be locked up with her non-singing ass.
Why should Sparkle be locked up?
Hey, because like the lady in the documentary said, he didn't do this shit by herself.
That was Sparkle.
Well, who the fuck? She was his fucking accomplice.
She admitted that she was wrong when she introduced her niece to him, but he told her, like, hey, I'm going to put her on. I'm going to get her a record, too.
Yeah, he put her on, all right. Put her on that fucking barber chair and went to town.
Pissed on her.
That
Terrible.
too.
Drip, drip, drip.
Terrible.
He filthy like, so you,
Like,
you ate her ass and then you pissed on her.
He ate her ass before
She
eating
was
ass was
15,
acceptable.
bro. Like, what the... How is he still free?
Because he's a bad man.
Didn't he, like, drop Trapped in the Closet when all this was going on?
Yep.
So he dropped Trapped in the Closet to distract everybody. Because
Which
we
was
were
cold, by the way.
we were into the Trapped in the Closet. I'm sorry. Like,
They
niggas
had a
was waiting.
whole segment called The Package.
The package, the package.
Come on, hey, look, fam. This ain't what we do here. Let's...
Look.
He needs to go to jail, but his music is timeless.
We've been together for so long, and I just don't know why you continue to do me the way you want to do me. I checked your cell phone, and I saw a number I don't normally see called on there. So something tells me either your mama done changed the number, or you cheating.
How could you do this to me after all these years? Girl, I don't know what in the fuck you think this is. Always trying to play around and tell lies while you are not at home. Sorry, girl, you busted now. I saw the number on your cell phone. You cheating. You was cheating. Yes, you was. Caught you creeping. Yes, I did. To the window, to the wall, skeeting. Trifling bold. Heavy breathing. Yes, you was. Now I'm leaving. I got to walk out right now, cause I just can't take it. Girl, you was cheating. You was cheating. Yes, you was. Caught you creeping. Yes, I did. To the window, to the wall, skeeting. You dirty bitch. Heavy breathing. Yes, you was. Now I'm leaving. I got to get out of here, cause I just can't take it no more. Percy, don't you know we've been through this type of thing before? Oh Lord, this time it's different. I know I ain't tripping. I looked in the cell phone, saw another man's digits. Now you must be tripping, cause you know it's not the same. She called you from her mama house and maybe her number changed. She got the 2,000-minute plan, calling her Minute Man. I'm packing the kids up, we gone in the minivan. She cheating, you was cheating. Yes, she was. Caught you creeping. Yes, I did. To the window, to the wall, skeeting. Cold busted, heavy breathing. Out the door, now I'm leaving. No more Jackson, no more child support. Oh my God. Girl, you cheating, you was cheating. Fuck that. Caught you creeping. I can't believe that she would do this to the wall. Give it another chance, person. She don't deserve it. No, she don't. Let me count the ways that I love you, girl. wanted you to be my wife. And I say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Really wanted you to be my friend. And I say 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Can't think of nothing that rhyme with 15. Ooh, Lord, the background singer's just messed up.
Well, Percy, I don't give a fuck.
But tell me where we gonna go.
We're going to the minstrel show.
You was cheating.
Yes, she was.
Cause you creeping.
With loud to the show, and I just don't know where to go, baby. Ooh, I'm so hurt, I'm so tired, I don't know what to do. I'm so turned around, and I just turn around and see your face at night, and I just wanna fall down down. I know how you feel, Percy. You can't understand. Believe me, I know how you feel. How do you know? You know in your heart that you don't want nobody but
Thank you. Thank you,
everyone.
Mr. Show. We love you.
Thank you.
We love you, Mr. Show. Thank you. Thank you. I'm Percy Miracles. Mr. Diggs. Thank you. You sound so wonderful, baby. Thank you.
I don't know, man.
Nah, fuck that. Nah. Okay, people. We're back from commercial break. But I just realized how much of a piece of shit my brother is. So, we having our conversation during commercial break about, me and the wife and the kids are thinking about moving to another state after she gets heavily settled in into her new position as a registered nurse. This nigga, first of all, he tried to be soft about it. Was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to get a new engineer. It's like, nah, bruh, I got you. I'll make sure you set up good. We'll be good. Don't worry about it. The show will go on. Now the nigga gonna be like, damn, I gotta learn how to drive now. Fuck you. That's the only reason why you don't want me to leave, so your ass ain't gotta drive. You know what? This fucking summer, you getting your L's before we go to Canada.
That's
Fuck
not,
that.
Well, technically, if you leave, then I kind of lose my best friend. Because, like, for real, though, even if I was, like, even if I was an able-bodied driver, which I like to let, for the record, know that I can actually drive a fucking vehicle just by the standards of Wisconsin. I can't because they won't give me my driver's license.
And, yeah,
trust me, I can whip that motherfucking Impala
and
like
I got
it's
that.
nobody's business. But my point was, if you move, then I don't have no friend.
You still will have friends. Plus, now you're guaranteed to have a place to go for a vacation every year.
But it's like the friends that we have, I don't really hang out with them. Not saying that I don't like them.
Maybe if I'm gone, you would hang out with them more.
Nah, I wouldn't.
It's true.
I don't think I would.
What about the whites that you work with? Would you start making
Fuck
friends?
them.
Like, duh. Well, one of them you can. But.
Ooh, on some real shit, though. So, like, check this out, right? It's this little chick that I've been kind of digging on lately. And I asked her, did she want to be my +1 to the ugly sweater party?
So you finna dump me and take her?
No. She just meet us there. She lives near Mr. Jazz.
So you gonna bring... Wait a minute. So there's a white girl.
No, she's not white.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was like, wait a minute. There's a white girl that lives near Jay's?
Nah, bro.
That was the first part.
It probably is, but I don't know.
I don't know.
But nah, man, kind of...
I mean, speaking of that, I'm actually pretty geeked this year for the ugly sweater party.
Oh, man, it's going to be lit. It's going to be live.
You know what? I still got to see what your sweater going to look like.
Oh, I could take a picture of it. It's something simple. I think it's like an angry gingerbread man or something on my sweater.
Well, mine is, is a full representation of me.
Hey, you ever watched T.I. show?
The Family Hustle? Yeah.
Don't Reed kind of look like his son?
Major?
Nah, the
King?
the one with the money. the one with the dress who be rapping.
Why every episode Reed look like somebody new?
I don't know. I love Reed.
I mean, we love Reed.
Cool people.
I'm actually, you know what? We listened to the episode of Hopefully Awkward. Unfortunately, we were there for it.
Right, like we were there and we listened.
We were there for it, as well as it dropped on Tuesday. I noted, like, during the conversation, we were talking about, preparing the kids for the future. And, like,
okay, so, like, what future?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, Mimi and the ladies of Hopefully Awkward, they really kind of dove in about like the sexual talk and the conversations that they went through. And I kind of wanted to dive on the fact that as dudes, we really didn't have that talk either. Like, you know, my dad was everywhere. So I really didn't get a chance to actually have that conversation. And then I think about it, my stepdad didn't give us that conversation either, dog. Like, I don't think me and him ever sat down and had that sex talk. And I think the closest thing that my mom gave me to a sex talk was, don't be bringing no babies in my house. And that was it. What about you, Doug? Did you ever have that conversation?
Nope. Don't bring no babies home.
And that was it for you too?
That was it.
So with us now having a younger generation up under us, people like Noah, Jazz, Ree, my little sister Tay, for an example. Like, as the older brothers, do you feel like it's our responsibility to fill in the gaps that our parents left when it comes to educating them of what to expect in these streets?
I mean, in a way it is, and then in a way it's not. And then when I say in a way it is that, like, I can see how my brother or my sister may be more comfortable talking to me as opposed to going to their parent or, you know, going to moms.
Right.
But it's like moms never shied away from the conversation. It was just, it was up to you to have it. Like, the talk in a black household probably is, make sure you wear a condom, don't bring no babies home. Now, that's the basis of the start of the conversation.
Right.
It's up to you to ask the questions, but if you don't feel comfortable with talking to your parents, that's your talk.
See, well, my issue with that narrative, though, is we didn't know what fucking questions to even ask. So being the middleman of the scenario, I think, like, us not getting that talk from our parents because we didn't know what the fuck to say to them would make it a lot easier for us to talk to the ones under it. Like, my sister looks at me as her father figure because with my dad passing away while she was still young, and her mom, to my knowledge, never really dating anybody after that. Like, I'm the only representation of an adult that she has. I mean, it's a shitty representation at times, but I am, because I have to actually toe the line of behaving like a dad and behaving like a brother. So I do sometimes intervene and have those conversations with my sisters, and the way that she cringes up and she gets awkward talking about even having a boyfriend. Like, she does not want to have a boyfriend. Now, I don't know if it's because she's gay. Well, if that's what she's gonna be, hey, I support your decision to sleep with whoever you want to. You just got to be safe with whoever you sleep with. But, like, you got Noah, dog. I'm not saying Noah getting any draws anytime soon, but being a nerd is in, dog.
I mean,
and he's definitely one of those.
I mean, like, I don't want to put pressure on little bro, because I feel like when you ready to know about something, you'll ask. I don't just want to.
Are you sure though?
Hey, look, I mean, this is just my perspective. Either you gonna ask or you don't ask, and if you don't ask, you running the risk of going out there learning something the hard way. Because I feel like even if you ask me and I tell you, you still gonna do what you want to do. So if I tell you, like, hey bro, you should probably wear a condom, if you in that moment you be like, bro said I should wear a condom, but I don't really want to, that's up to you. I'm not in the room while you fucking, so I can't make you put it on. I can only tell you what the dangers are of not wearing one.
But are you at least telling him here's the consequences to it? Because, like, the minute you fuck without that condom, your whole life gonna change in one way or another. You either gonna have a new feeling in the pussy that you've never had before because you've always fucked with a condom on. You either going to become a dad in 9 months, or knock on wood, you get the friend that never ends.
This is the song that never
So,
ends.
I mean, your life can totally change, but at the same time, we also don't want people to be afraid of sex because these are the only 3 things that always come through your head. You want to enjoy the moment. You want them to get that feeling.
I mean, stuff like that is awkward because I'm in a new space. Like, I've always been the youngest. And then when I got all these fucking siblings, it's
now
like,
you're the oldest.
Now I'm the oldest. So, and I look at this generation is unfortunate like I was growing up because me and all my cousins, we're pretty much close in age.
Right.
Like, it's me and one cousin, we the same age. Our birthdays are a month apart. But then, we got people like Mimi, who's only 34. And then you got Shantae, who's 34. Anthony, like 36. Like, we're all still around the same age. And if I didn't get to talk from my parents, or if I didn't feel comfortable talking to my parents, I had them because we were all in the same age. So you're more likely to listen to somebody who's close to your age and doing this type of shit as opposed to listening to your parents who you like, man, y'all probably ain't even fucking anyway. But somehow these fucking babies keep popping up.
True, but that brings up a good point. Even though you got that open door policy with Noah, Jazz, as much as we don't want to believe that she fucking.
I don't know that.
I'm just saying.
And I can't prove it, so
then we gonna keep that.
So I won't put that narrative out there.
All
like
right,
that.
let's keep that then. We don't know, we don't want to know. But if they don't know to come to you, okay, they're going to their friends, they're going to their homies, they're going to people who they associate with on a daily basis, and they're gonna have those conversations with the people that are their age. And who say that their information is correct?
Hey, just do what I did then. Double check your sources.
Like, you got to remember, growing up, dog, we heard from our friends that if you pull out before you come, she can't get pregnant.
Yeah, that's probably the stupidest shit ever.
But we heard it from each other. So just imagine.
And none of us had experience.
Exactly. So take in consideration the world that Noah is in right now, where I'm not saying that he ain't hanging out with people that's fucking. Because we got middle schoolers that are getting pregnant, so somebody fucking around them. But
you know what though? Like I didn't mind being a virgin. Like when I was a virgin, I didn't mind. Like it was other people. Like, and that's what I've always said. Like I didn't mind, or I got to the point where I didn't care what people thought because it didn't bother me anymore. So, people make fun of you. It's like, oh, man, you still a virgin. You ain't fucking. It's like, okay, cool. But how many times have us as homies caught the bus with you to the fucking free clinic because you burn it? Or you send out that group text like, hey, man, we're going to skip school today. Why we skipping school? Fam got to go to the doctor today. Oh, okay. So how many of the homies is at your doctor's appointment with you?
Hey, bro, I did not go to no doctor's appointments with my homies. If you burning on your own.
We was all looking for an excuse not to be at school any fucking way.
And I get that, dog. I really do. But there's just some things you don't do collectively as a group. This is not a group outing.
Hey, like we would go to the doctor with folks, then we go to the mall.
Nah, but real talk, I kind of feel you. Like when I was in high school and everybody was fucking everything moving left and right, I wasn't in a rush to get out there like that either, because I actually had a homegirl that lived on my block that she got pregnant, and because nobody sat down and talked to a lot of us about what sex was, she actually slept with a few dudes in the neighborhood.
Sounds terrible.
It does. So she ended up pregnant, and the fact that she didn't know who the baby daddy was, that she ended up going to the clinic to get an abortion, and I'm like, dog, like I don't ever want to be that dude who makes a girl go get an abortion because we didn't do the thing that we're supposed to do. I didn't know what we were supposed to do because we wasn't fucking. I mean, you learned a little bit in health class, and they taught you what ovaries was and the fallopian tube, and how the egg comes down and attaches to the uterus wall, and we go from there. But they don't teach you all the other stuff in regards to it. And it was like, no, I'm not really in a rush to smack these cheeks. It wasn't until I actually started dealing with a girl who, I think she was just horny all the goddamn time, that I actually just gave in and was like, fuck it. Okay? Fuck it. And that's basically how my first experience even happened. It came from a chick who, technically, I got raped.
So you fucked a hoe to lose your virginity?
I think I did.
Oh, man.
I honestly think I did, dog.
I got drunk when I lost mine.
It's cool. The funny part is I'm still cool with her. We actually Facebook friends on my old page, because I didn't try to add her when I made my new page. We was friends on my old page, and she honestly apologized for her behavior during that time, but I never told her that she was my first. Like, she just apologized for basically dude hopping, in so many words.
Yeah, I got drunk my first time.
I was definitely high.
They kind of tricked me into it.
How did they trick you into it, though?
Okay, so this is what happened. So, it was summer. It was like probably like a month or so after my birthday. I just turned 18. And we was all at the crib, and you ever play Seen It?
No, what's that?
Okay, Seen It is like a DVD game.
Oh, that game. Yeah, I played that.
Yeah, and then like they may throw like a movie quote on the screen.
Right.
And you try to guess it and get it right, or they throw like a picture, a distorted, like you get what I'm saying though. So you played the game.
Right.
So we was all playing Seen It, and we was playing Seen It for shots.
That's terrible.
So it was me, my mom, my dad.
Wait. You slept with a chick that your parents knew?
Yeah, we was dating at the time. This is the same bitch that got a whole nigga name tatted on her. She was my first.
No wonder you so fucking violent when it comes to her.
Man,
okay, keep going.
She just don't know. I'll punch her in her fucking natural. Not too natural. But yeah, so it was me, her, mom's dad, and maybe my older sister. Maybe Shantae was there. I don't know. But we was all playing Seen It. We was just playing for sure. Oh yeah, Jasmine was there. But you know, Jasmine wasn't old enough to drink. But she was playing Seen It with us. I think we was watching like The Simpsons or some shit. So it was like, for every wrong answer you get, you gotta take a shot. And my dad, who is not a drinker, decided to have motherfucking Absolute on deck. This is why I felt like I was tricked into this. So, long story short, we get drunk, and I was drunk. And then, you know, when you get drunk, I want to sleep. I wanted to sleep it off. And then, you know, I was coerced into having sex.
You were coerced into it.
Yes. It was wonderful, though. It was so good that as soon as I got out the pussy, I called Mimi ASAP and told her I was no longer a virgin.
Doug, I think on one episode, there's either an old episode of Death Fresh or one of the early episodes of Hopefully Awkward. Y'all told that story.
Yes, so I called cuz ASAP. I was like, hey fam, I'm not a virgin anymore. We need to throw a party. And then she hung up, and then I proceeded to get some more booty.
I mean, as you should. That sweet release.
Man, you that was so much better than jagging. I can't even lie to you. Keep 100.
I'm only laughing because it's true. Like,
hey, when all you do is jag and you don't actually get no pussy, and then you get like your first piece of pussy, it's like, oh man, I've been missing out. This is so much better than jagging.
I ain't gonna lie, that first nut, dog, it was so much cum all over her.
It was just like, it's everywhere.
It literally was everywhere, dog. I just had her.
I was new to this. I didn't know nothing about like the wet spot.
Like I had to like.
So when we was done, I just slept it dried up. I was like, yeah, this is not cool. But she put me on game. Like, you know, she was like, you should probably, you gotta get the warm towel.
The only saving grace for me was it was laundry day anyway for me. So all the mess, I just told her, wipe yourself off with the blanket and whatnot. I'm gonna throw it in the washer anyway. It was If I would have came at her, dog, I would have triplets right now.
But you know what? Here's why I don't. I don't want my little brother to have sex right now, is because he doesn't do his own laundry.
So you just gonna leave the proof everywhere?
Yeah, like fam got to start doing his own laundry before he start out here busting nuts. Because I don't want to have that weird, uncomfortable talk with your mama, talking about, Mark, what is this? It's not mine. You don't do my laundry.
So what you're saying is you don't want to be that dude who happened to walk in one day and pick up the hard, crunkly sock?
Yeah,
I feel you, Dad.
Yeah, I don't want to be that.
I definitely. That's one of the reasons why I'm kind of glad I didn't have a son, because those experiences of going through manhood, I don't think I could take it seriously. I don't care how old I would be. I don't care how close to senile I might be. I could be going through Alzheimer's. I would still laugh and crack jokes on my son. Like, at least with having my daughters, like having that conversation about sex, love, relationships, all that kind of stuff, I can give it to them from a male's perspective, which would definitely give them a better understanding so they can know how to control their emotions and keep them in check. But from a father to a son, I can't answer them questions. Like, why are women so petty? Why are girls so savage? How do I do this when she wants me to do A, B, C, D? You know, like, I can't answer those questions for you because I have those issues with your mom still.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. So I'm actually glad I have two daughters instead of having a son, because I would be a great dad, but when it comes to relationship, because of how awkward I was in the dating scene, I would be no help. Because look at the climate of the world now. Back when we were younger, being a thug, being hard, and moving weight got you all the bitches. Now, being able to beat video games and know every single character in a Marvel movie get you instant draws.
Hey, like, yeah, that's true. I never wanted to be a thug. Okay, I take that back. I did want to be a gang.
I was like, dog, you finna sit here and tell a whole lie.
I did want to be a gang.
Because you was gang banging in South Division by yourself.
No, it was a group of us. I found out senior year that the niggas were my friends.
Of course, they let you gang bang.
Yeah. I would never wish gang banging on anybody. Like, if you not gang banging, don't gang bang. That shit not cool whatsoever. This is no disrespect to niggas who do gang bang, because if you gang banging, you really about that life, and that's all you know. Hey, shout out. Hopefully you come to grips with Jesus and turn your life around, and it don't take you or your homie getting shot. But yeah, gang banging ain't some shit you want to play with. I want to see a nigga get punched. I've seen some shit at South Division that make you just want to skip school.
That's how I was at North.
Because school just was not safe sometimes. Like, so one day, we had like this little courtyard. And, you know, most of the people be out there chilling before they let you in the building. Because unless you was eating breakfast, they really wouldn't let you in the building. I don't know why. That sounded weird. But
it did sound weird.
Anyway, so niggas was out there on the courtyard smoking Black and Miles, chilling. And this one Mexican dude, he was on his phone, jacking, talking Spanish, and blah, 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 blah. And this nigga walked up and punched that nigga dead in the face and walked off.
He might have did something that he deserved.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what he did to deserve to be punched in the face that hard.
I mean, every time somebody gets punched in the face, they've done something.
That's why I like when niggas say, hey, bro, do you know such and such? Or, hey, you look familiar? I'm like, no, I don't, bro. You don't know me because I've never met you. I've never met you because I've always had that fear of a motherfucker just walking up and punching me in my shit. And I don't know what I did to be punched in the shit.
Sorry to hear that. So, for the dude who ever got punched in his face, I'm sorry that happened to you. Sometimes you just got to choose your words carefully.
I want to say he retaliated. Like, a lot of Mexican niggas came up dead, like, between, like, the year I started and the year I left. All they did was shoot each other. I ain't gonna talk about niggas is violent. No, we not. We ain't got shit on them Spanish niggas. We ain't got nothing on them Spanish niggas.
No, we just do it for dumb reasons. They do it for, like, honor, family, heritage.
Bro, I'm not finna let
We just do it because a nigga bought the last pack of cools.
First of all, if you're still smoking cools in 2018, you need to get your life together.
Bruh, if you killing somebody, that means your life ain't together. So you probably smoking cools because that's all you got money for.
You know, I just found out what GPC stand for.
What does it stand for?
Generic pack of cigarettes.
I thought that, but I didn't know it was gonna be that freaking basic.
I didn't think it was that basic either.
That's just.
I was at work and I was asking a little Mexican homie. I was like, "Now, what do GPC stand for?" He was like, "I don't know, Juan. Why don't you Google it?" I was like, "Damn, why I ain't think of that?" And then it was like generic pack of cigarettes. I used to call it gay people cigarettes.
Dude,
I was immature back then.
I mean, the climate is very sensitive now. You got to be careful with stuff like that.
I don't really care.
I mean, it don't matter. Like, look at what just happened to Kevin Hart, dog. A tweet from 2014.
He said sorry.
Well, it all depends on what kind of sorry you think. Like, we seen it as, yeah, you apologizing. But they were like, he apologized, but he really didn't apologize.
But see, that's because gay people like females. They just want you to keep saying sorry, and sorry.
But
like, you know, when somebody, this is what I've learned in life. A lot of people ain't the I'm sorry type of people.
Nope.
Like, and it's not that they don't genuinely feel bad for what they've done or that they hurt your feelings. It's just a lot of people can't come to grips with saying the words I'm sorry. That's just what it is. But I feel like an apology is an apology as long as it's genuine and it came from the heart. So if a nigga say, you know what, bro, I didn't really mean that like that, my bad. That's just as good as saying, I'm sorry. But white gay people, not even white people, just gay people as a whole, like, I just feel like they fight to be accepted, and then they do shit to make them stand out in a bad way. Like the Dwight Howard situation with the transgender. Like, you fight so hard for acceptance, but then you out a nigga.
I mean,
now I get why you outed him or whatever the situation was, because you felt threatened or you felt attacked. But certain comments that you make don't sound like you threatened or attacked. Like, you could have said, okay, this happened, but then for you to go out your way to call that nigga a 6'11" bottom. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's just certain things that, like, don't go there. Like, two wrongs don't make this situation any more right, because it's not.
It doesn't. Okay, so we do live in a very homophobic climate now, whereas in you will get slurs that come out towards the LGBTQ, which I don't understand why the Q is separate. Like, at one point in time, the Q was like a derogatory statement, but now it's part of their mantra. I don't know. But anyway, you'll get these things out here, and, you know, sometimes it can be looked at as being offensive. Like, sometimes certain words in the gay community is just as bad as using nigger. Like, hip-hop, for an example. We always say something gay. Like, nigga, you gay.
Right.
Well, when we say nigga, you gay, it's deprived as something you're doing is unacceptable.
Right.
So, to say that somebody is gay, which means something unacceptable, they are taking it as we're saying being gay is unacceptable. So they take offense to that. They're like, that's offensive, that's wrong. Like when somebody calls somebody a nigger, and it doesn't even have to be a black person, because I've actually heard white people call another white person a nigger.
Well, I guess because they look at the actual definition of someone being ignorant.
True.
So anybody could be a nigger.
But because the word nigger was used negatively in the past, we still hold on to that negative part of it.
I mean, but that went to Tori's point, if you listen to the real bar talk, of giving shit power when it doesn't need it.
True, but we're in a climate right now where the gay community transcends every other walk of life. You can be a Christian or a Jew. You can be black or white. You can be male or female. All the other subclasses and subcultures that we use to divide people, the gay community blankets all of it because there's somebody gay in every single walk of life. So their agenda, their issues, their problems will always supersede and trump anything in regards to what people complain about. Now, do they do things we don't like? Most definitely. You know, do they have the right to complain about some of the things we says? Yeah, if it's directly towards somebody, yeah. But like you said before, a lot of times it do feel like they be reaching.
I think they be reaching all the fucking time.
It do seem like they be reaching sometimes, and they force you to have to like or accept what they're doing. We don't have to accept anything. You know, we don't have to like anything. like I don't have to accept the fact that somebody is of a certain culture just because they're of that culture. If I accept them because I accept them as a person. Like, I work in a call center environment. I've worked in a call center environment or a customer service like environment for at least the last 20 years. Okay? Never have that's going to go anywhere, go away or nothing. And I've dealt with people from the gay community in all these different jobs. I don't look at you like, oh, I'm working with a gay guy, or oh, that lesbian chick is a supervisor and whatnot. No, I look at, that's my coworker, that's my boss. That's all I see. I don't see any of that extra stuff. So I don't have those homophobic moments or those homophobic incidents, whereas if the flamboyant guy over here is just being beyond extra, I'm not gonna be like, dog, stop acting like a fag because you doing too much. I'm gonna be like, dog, you doing too much, chill out. Depending on the mood I'm in, I might go tit for tat with you just because you want to be petty. I'll be petty with you. I just cool with that. Like, prime example, our boy Chris. What's his podcast name again?
It's the Whatever Podcast.
That's what I thought it was like. It's what I was going to say. It's whatever the name of that podcast is, but it is called the Whatever. That's the name of it. It's like our boy Chris of the Whatever Podcast. We knew he was gay before he told anybody. We literally, in the car one day, coming back from wrestling, pulled over to the side of the road and told dog, "Hey, we know, bro. Just it's cool. You ain't gotta hide around us. We know it's cool. We're not gonna look at you any differently. We're not gonna treat you any differently. We already know these jokes we got for you is because it's for you, not because of what you do or how you do or who you roll with. It's whatever."
Right.
And then when he finally did come out, we got on air. It was like, dog, we fucking told you a long time ago. We knew this is not a big surprise. We just happy that you accept you as you is, but that's not gonna stop these jokes.
No, it's never gonna stop.
Okay. But that's because we fuck with you like that. And going back to the original point of all this, the Kevin Hart situation, he cracked these jokes because that's his job.
Right.
So even though the jokes were done 4 years ago, 5 years ago soon, your future should not be dictated by these jokes.
But okay, and that's very true, but I don't know if you know who Ryan Davis is. He makes Facebook videos. He's a comedian.
Right.
Up and coming comedian. He still
is that the dude who be with like only his head shot and he be like cracking mad jokes about people?
I don't know. There's a couple of, but I'll share his video.
I think I know who you're talking about. We'll keep going.
He was talking about the Kevin Hart situation, but he made a good point. He was like, people are right. A comedian can say whatever they want. But in order to say whatever you want, you have to make it funny. Like, your job as a comedian is to take the venom out of a word to make it harmless so people don't have a problem with laughing at it. And I think that's right, because I've seen people make black jokes as a stand-up. I've seen white comedians make black jokes. But if you saying it and you make it funny, black people don't have a problem laughing. So I feel like if the faggot shit or whatever shit Kevin Hart said would have been funny, nobody would have a problem with it because everybody would have laughed and went on about their life.
I don't know, because that's one thing I have noticed about the gay community. Regardless if it's funny or not, if somebody in the community feels offended, regardless of if it's funny or not, it becomes an issue. Regardless, because they'll take it and make it a blanket statement. The only way that a person can get away with cracking jokes about somebody of that nature is if they're personally related to that person or it's their own relationship. For an example, Wanda Sykes. It wasn't until years later that I actually found out that Wanda Sykes was gay. Yeah, it wasn't until years later. Still one of my favorite female comedians. Hell, I'm not gonna lie, probably one of my favorite comedians, period. You know, no gender line on that. But her stand-up where she was talking about raising 2 adopted kids with her wife, who's French speaking, was funny as hell to me. Now, if she made those jokes or made gay jokes prior to before that, a lot of people might have came down on her until she came out and said, "Oh, I'm gay too." Now it's like, yes, we have a comedian that's gay. We're a champion. We will support you just because. And they'll laugh at her jokes because like, I know what you're talking about. I have to deal with that with my wife or husband. But at the end of the day, she's just basically telling the same joke that substitute her wife for a husband. We still relate to it. But because it's a gay joke done by a non-gay person, anybody can take it offensively. Like, I can crack jokes about my brother. My brother's autistic. I don't give a fuck when nobody says, if you hang out with an autistic person, they is funny as hell. And you can't lie because KK autistic, and you know she have you dying, right?
Yeah, she be doing some wild shit.
She do. But if we told jokes about autistic people, parents of autistic kids would get upset.
Right.
Parents of autistic kids will take it to heart. Oh my God, I can't believe the Death Fresh show said that about autistic people.
But
bitch, we have family members.
Right. And I think that I can't my words out. But I think that is our job. Like I said, what he was saying earlier is to take the venom out of the word autism or autistic. So it's not felt like a derogatory term when we say it because we live it. You know what I mean? So like when I mention something about my baby sister, I want you to be able to, like, if you have an autistic brother or sister, or if you got autistic kids, and I make a joke about autism, like when I went on my whole little rant about Michael Myers being autistic.
Dog, you know we actually had people get on us?
But I said that because the shit he does, I found it funny because I see it in my little sister.
Facts.
My little sister doesn't talk. When she wants something, she just reaches and points. She gets to the point where she does the little Michael Myers head nod when she looks at you or when you talking to her. So I saw the resemblance in a fictitious serial killer in my little sister, and I thought it was fucking hilarious.
And honestly, and I never told you this because I was like, why the fuck do we care? I actually got an email from somebody who was highly upset about what we said about autistic people.
But I'm not trying to slander autistic people.
But the way they looked at it is, you made a joke about autistic people and autism isn't funny. Yes, the fuck it is.
You know what?
If you live with somebody autistic, this is the way I look at it like this, dog. Autistic people are regular people. They laugh at regular shit. They like to smile. They like to be happy. They like to be down. They go through emotions just like everybody else.
Right.
So they like a good joke or two as well. Like, my little brother fucking dies at my daughters just doing regular shit because he finds it fucking hilarious to them. One, here's 2 little small people. 2, Tony actually had sex twice. You know, like shit like this is funny to him. And then 3rd, he's plotting in his head like, oh shit, I got 2 little brats who I can make do anything I want to because they want the same thing I want, so they can take the fall for it.
Right. Like, hey, if we all want cookies, I'll go get us some cookies. Hey, why y'all in here eating cookies? Oh, they wanted some cookies, so I figured we'd all eat some cookies.
Right.
We chilling.
It's all a setup. So my little brother is dying, but the fact of me telling the story of some of the stuff he does offends people. It's like, it's my brother.
See, and I feel like with that email or whatever, I didn't see it for the people who are listening, but whoever sent that email, dog, fuck you. My life is my life. I got a masturbating little brother. I got a 21-year-old little sister who is doing her own thing. And I got a 4-year-old baby who is autistic. I love her to death, but this is my life. And if I can't laugh at my life, like, and I feel like the purpose of me laughing at my life is for those who may go through what I go through, or you may, like, look, I have a car, but I can't drive. I'm pretty sure somebody who listens to the show is like, damn, I can't drive either. So they don't feel as bad now because they be like, well, they crack jokes on why I can't drive. You know what I'm saying? Or when we talk about Tone being old, it may help somebody who's really going through a crisis of, I'm getting older, cope with the fact that they getting old, because Tone still be out here trying to get his 1-2 on.
Look,
even though he shouldn't sometimes.
Look, I haven't done anything of that nature since my early 30s, so fuck what these niggas are saying.
I'm not talking about that. See, look,
okay.
Nigga just told on himself.
I'm sorry. You know, like when you get ready to snap, but then you realize that's not where y'all at, so it's too late to come back from it, so you just ride it out.
Like, look, we here at the Death Fresh Show, we make fun of our lives, so those who are going through it, or they know somebody who are, it's just so you can have another perspective of what you may be going through.
Look, in life, you have to learn how to laugh at your pain, as well as you have to learn how to enjoy your pleasure moments. Like, you can't take everything serious, dog. You can't, because the minute you take everything serious, you start worrying about what other people think, you start making bad decisions in life, you start missing out on opportunities, and next thing you know, you 60 years old and you ain't did shit.
And then next thing you know, that nigga in the black hoodie is knocking on your door like, hey my guy, it's time to go see Jesus, and then you dead. All because you worried yourself to death about what other people thought, about what other people think. Just live life, smile, be happy. Like, look, like Roscoe say, man, it is what it is till it ain't. And you can apply that with anything, relationships, jobs. Like, look, bro, hey, you may not like your job, but it pay the bills. So it is what it is till it ain't.
Yes.
Find something. Like, I feel like people complain about things that, like, they can change. Like, don't complain about something you can change. Like, don't come to work talking about you hate your job every day. If you don't like your job, find a better one. If you're not trying to find a better one, then shut up and just go to work.
Facts.
Well, exactly. Like, if you don't like the fact that you are broke, you should probably change your spending habits. Budget your money out.
And also, if all your bills are paid and food is in your fridge, you just ain't got money to go to the club that weekend, you ain't broke. You just responsible.
Facts.
Because my black ass will sit in the house and play video games all day with the heat on blast because I know that bill is paid to the fullest.
Right. So, like, next time you feel you broke and you go outside and you see a nigga dressed from head to toe and some new gear with the new J's on, just think that he probably ain't got a dime in his pocket.
You know the sad part is, because we getting ready to get out of here after this comment, the Concords came back out again, right?
Well, we'll say today because it was today. No, it was yesterday. It came out on the 8th. Which was yesterday. But by the time y'all niggas hear that, that'll be last week.
Right. So the new Concords came out, right?
Right.
And
I tried to get Tone to loan me some money to buy them, but you bitch ass nigga.
Why would I give you money to buy you Concords when I just buy myself Concords?
Because we skimming off the top of this Tone Deaf Radio shit.
No, we is not. Dog, do not put that fucking out there before I really have fucking feds knocking on my door, dog. Don't do that shit. Ain't this tax season too, nigga? Do not fucking do that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to paint that narrative.
That's why I let them get away with it, because they kind of mad about the fiasco that happened last week with editing. But don't run with that shit for real, dog. Please don't run with that shit for real.
We here at Tone Deaf Radio do not scam money off the top. We are a non-profit organization.
Right, and that's the reason why I say don't do that, because technically we're still labeled non-profit until April 20th of 2019. So we can't make money if I wanted to. Without us getting like in some kind of legal trouble.
April what?
20th.
Okay, so as of 4/20, if you pay me, I'll play your records. Real shit. Shout out to Teasy.
All right, but where is that going? Yeah, I honestly am getting to the point where I have this question of why are niggas still buying Jordans? Because the Concords have came out, if I'm not mistaken, at least 9 times.
I don't think 9 times.
No. Somebody posted a photo. They had every single Concord from the original one dropping all the way to the most recent one.
Right, because the original ones came out in 96.
Right. So the only difference I noticed in all these Concords was whether or not the gum bottom was either light or dark. That's the only thing that changed in that 1 year when they were lows.
Oh, and the back switch.
Yeah.
Like the ones that came out now were the original 96s.
Right.
So, because no, 95. When he came back and he was wearing 45,
yeah,
that's when the Concords dropped.
Right.
So this shoe has a 45 on the back.
Hey, you think somebody should buy Trump a pair of them for Christmas?
Why?
45.
Trump would be 45th president?
Yeah.
Fuck him.
I'm just saying that'd be a crazy ass gift. If he was a cool president, like if Obama was 45, Obama, he definitely would have a pair of Concords.
Right, because he probably 45 and the 45th president with a pair of Concords.
No, that'd have been a dope ass photo.
Dope.
That would have been a dope ass
photo.
Yeah,
so I think like 95, and then they re-released in like 2000. It's been quite a few releases of the Concords.
Right. So my question is they're not really changing up the style of them or getting them in different colors. So my question becomes, why are we still buying Jordans? Because I get it. Those few years where you finally had some money and you could finally get the Jordans you wanted because you didn't get a chance to experiment as a kid, or you did get them as a kid and you want to get them again because you have memories that are tied to these shoes. But when they've been out 9 times, 10 times, at one point in time, do you be like, dog, I don't need these?
I don't know. I feel like as long as niggas got $220, they'll still spend it.
I mean, but at some point in time,
but you know what?
Stop.
Okay, I'll put it like this. Niggas will always buy Jordans. I don't, because that's just what they're into. Like, if you into that, that's what you're going to buy.
I can't wait for this generation to pass away so niggas will stop buying these shoes.
Now, I feel like I understand when people who are like my age or a little older than me and they get hyped when like OG colors come back.
That's sometimes those I would let slide.
Like, I can see niggas my age or, you know, people a little older than me hype when these came back. Like, when they re-release an OG color, like the Concords, I see them getting hyped. Like, oh, man, maybe my Concords, you know, from 2000 are a little beat up, so let me get these 2019s. Or, oh, he finna re-release the flu games. Let me get these. But, like, I'm not finna go crazy over these off-brand ass color of Jordans because they just, some don't look right.
I get some colors are crazy and to the left and shit. My thing is, when do you, as a shoe connoisseur, say to yourself, nah, fam, I can't pay them prices no more? Like, you bought the shoe the first time. Like, so let's just say you an old nigga like me. So you got the shoes when they came out for the very first time. You dropped probably $85 on them. Okay? I don't think the Concords are that cheap. I think those were the first time a shoe was $120. So let's just say you dropped the $120 on them. All right?
Man, I wish some motherfuckers was $120 now.
All right. Second time you copped them some years later, they were $200. You want to relive your childhood, so you dropped the $200. Cool. Now, every time they come out, they go up like $40. So now, the shoe costs damn near $400. Like, at what point in time, as a human being with common sense, do you say to yourself, do I want to put $400 on my feet, or do I want to put $400 towards something else?
I think people with common sense will look at it like, well, if I pay my rent and I make sure I got food in my house, and I make sure if I make sure all my bills is paid and I got food in my house and I got extra money and I want to spend my extra money on Jordans, then that's what they're gonna do.
See, I can't do it.
It's the people who don't take care of home or don't take care of their kids and they spend money like that. Like, my cousin does that.
My cousin
does that. I mean, like, he don't like spend wild. Like, he take care of home. Like, he makes sure his bills is paid. He makes sure his food in the crib. But he got that habit like his mama. Like, when we were growing up, his mama always made sure him and his brothers was dipped. Latest fashion. And I don't mind that he does it now for his son. I just want you to make sure your shit's straight before you do it.
Right, okay. And this goes back to the teaching of the kids earlier. I've always had an issue with parents who do that. Who go out and buy their kids name brand stuff that they're going to grow out of right away. Like my homegirl, Britt, love her to death. She's getting ready to have her third kid, I think. And she went out and she bought 2 kids. She bought her and the 2 kids that are here, the Concords. Then she went and copped the newborn a pair as well, too. Now,
they're taking family pictures?
That's what, at first I was thinking, okay, that's what it was. But Britt is a girl who, she just wants her kids to look nice. So, not saying that she don't have the right to do that, because what you do with your kids is your business. I personally couldn't do that is because, one, my girls grow out of stuff too fast. Right. The Jordans that my girls had when they were babies were because Teresa's cousin gave all of these clothes and shoes that her daughter grew out of, and Lily was right next in line because she didn't even get a chance to wear it. Hell, Lily had like 6 pairs of Jordans and only really wore 2 the whole time she was that small because she grew out of them too fast. Now, TT ended up getting them. TT foot stayed small a little bit longer than Lily's did. Plus, we thought about it right away. It's like, okay, let's see, can she fit these shoes? We were on her to try to put these shoes on since they were given to us before we give them out to family. But then I sat here and thought about it. I was like, dog, what if I actually went out and bought all these shoes for these girls, and then they outgrew them like this? Like, to me, that's wasting money.
I mean, it is, but when you want to see your kids in certain shit, it's what you want.
But to me, I also feel like that sets an expectation up for my kids when they're growing up. Like, they have to be in the latest fashion and they have to look a certain way that their looks, their style, their dress, their fashion will trump their mentality over what really matters. Like, I need you to go to this school and get an education. I need you to go to this school and figure out how to take these white people money and make it work for you.
But there's
not making sure you look better than the next person at school.
But there's nothing wrong with rewarding your kids if that's what they're doing.
I will reward if that's what you're asking for and you're proving to me you deserve it. But if I put you in this kind of style off top, you don't look at that as a reward. You look at that as a standard requirement. When school starts back, or when new Jordans come out, or whatever type of shoe fashion that they're into at that point in time, you're expecting to have them shoes at your house when you get off.
But see,
because I've built that mentality that that's what you're supposed to have.
There's the difference between your style of parenting as to oppose of a younger person's style of parenting.
And I get that.
Like, you are a little older, so you may go off the merit like, okay, well, let's take Lily for instance. How old is Lily?
Lily's finna be 6 in June.
Right, Lily's finna be 6. So you may miss that wave where your kid ain't into high fashion, or she may not want certain things. So you may miss it because you got girls. But see, I got a little brother. And my little brother be like, hey bro, I want this. Or, hey yo mom, I'm trying to look like this. I'm trying to look like that. It's a simple give and take.
Okay.
You want to dress like a fucking rock star? You got to be a rock star in the classroom.
Okay.
And my little brother is far from stupid. He just acts stupid. But he get good grades. So I feel like if you're going to continue to get good grades, then there's no reason why your mom shouldn't dress you in True Religion jeans, Rock Revival. If she want to buy you a pair of Jordans, or if you say, hey, bro, I seen these pair of Dookies or this pair of Air Max. Can you look out? We shouldn't have no problem because you do what you're supposed to do in school. You get better grades than I did when I was in high school.
Well, that's because you get no fuck. That's a different story. That's a different story. No, and I feel you on that. And I get that if it's a reward, okay? If you earned the right to be there. Like, the one thing I like about Lily is because she's not a fashion person, because of the way we don't present it to her, she doesn't want that high-end stuff. Like, it was a meme that I used to share was, you out here buying your kids Timberland boots, meanwhile they're at school jealous of the boy with the Batman shoes on. So, when you're at that younger age when what they have on doesn't really matter in regards to who they're trying to impress, because they shouldn't be trying to impress anybody at 6. You're buying, to me, I feel like you're just buying these name brand fashion clothes for you to make you feel like you're doing better for your kid. Like you're buying your kid, in so many words. You're showing your love through materialistic things. That's what I'm looking for. And because you're showing your love through materialistic things, your kid is wearing these clothes that they don't give a fuck or know what it is. Like, my whole thing is, why put your 5-year-old son in some True Religion jeans when they're going to art class? So when this kid come home with a pair of $75 jeans on and there's paint on their jeans, you're ready to whoop him and then go up to the school and fight the teacher because you got paint on $75 jeans that the little nigga's gonna outgrow in 2 months.
I mean, that all makes sense.
To me, it's like, and this has nothing to do with me being from a different generation. I felt like this when I was a kid growing up.
It's about different mindset.
And that could definitely be
like,
it.
When I was in high school, even when I was in middle school, I never really cared about my clothes. I just wanted to make sure my kicks was cool. Because if you could take a nice pair of jeans that nobody knows where you got them from. Like, because I'm going to make sure I'm cool. I'm going to iron my jeans. I'm going to press them bitches up. And I could wear a normal shirt. Or I could wear a fucking just a Nike hoodie. And just, I'm good. Like, you know, nobody knows. And like, and my mom was and she still is a bargain shopper. Like, niggas think, like, if you look in the closet and you see all these name brands, you be like, damn, bro probably got $20,000 worth of jeans in here, bro. My mom find jeans for $30, $20. They just be name brand.
And I get
she shop clean off the clearance rack.
But I get that because we come from a generation where you had to make every penny stretch. So I get that, and the fact that your mom is just a little bit older than me, when you think about it, I'm on the back end of her generation, so I kind of still got that same mentality too. But I think it's like, because our generation, when we started having kids, we started giving them things we couldn't get because we had to penny pinch. So when the Jordans came out the first time, we knew we couldn't afford them, or shit, it wasn't safe for us to have them. Because you got to remember, I grew up in the era where a nigga would get robbed for their Jordans. Because the ones I used to want, my mom was going to buy. I kid you not. I was due for some new shoes. I said I wanted these particular Jordans. They were the Olympic 9s.
Them was clutch.
I wanted them.
I don't think there's been another re-release of those yet.
They have this one time, and I just happened to be so fucking broke at the time. I was damn near kind of pissed. Them would be the only Jordans I would buy. 1, 9 is my favorite number. 2, the Olympics tied to it, the whole 9 yards. So I wanted them. And my mom told me,
you probably got a sweater vest that match them too.
I fucking will make one if they come back out. But no, my mom was like, okay, give me these grades I asked for. You know, my mom tried to be slick. Give me a 4 point. That ain't shit. I'll pay attention for 3 months to get you a 4 point. She's like, give me a 4 point. I'll talk about it. In my family, when someone says I'll think about it, that usually means I'll get it. I just don't want you to know I'm going to get it for you. Because when I tell Lily that I think about it, that usually means I'm going to get it anyway. So she's like, I'll think about it. My mom was taking me to the shoe store to get me fitted that afternoon. And the news came on at 5 o'clock where 2 kids got shot for their starter jackets and their shoes.
I never understood the point. What if you rob a nigga for his shoes and you can't fit them?
I think they size you up before they do it. Because I've seen that happen. It's like, hey, nigga, what size are those, dog?
My size. Don't fuck away from me, dog.
Your size. Hey, oh, shit, nigga, I'm only a 7. I'll get them motherfuckers. Hey, up them shoes. Damn. So my mom didn't want me to get them. I ended up getting, what did I end up getting? Did I get some Barclays? Or I get some Pippins?
Nigga, do you know the price point on Barclays in 2019?
I know.
Barclays is definitely going for $200.
I'm just saying, but at the time, though, it was like, nigga, I didn't want no. Barkley was my boy. I didn't want no. She got me LJs. That's what it was. I remember. I ended up getting some LJs. I was like, I wanted MJs, not LJs. But LJs was actually very fucking comfortable. So it was a win-win at the end of the day. But it was like, dog, I'm like, I can't see her going out buying me them shoes and then buying my little brother the same shoes when this nigga was definitely gonna outgrow these shoes in 3 months.
I mean, a lot of niggas shop for boosters. Like, there's a lot that goes into niggas having all that shit. Like,
and I know that now.
A lot of niggas get people that boost. A lot of niggas get shit that's plugged. A lot of niggas is wearing fake shit.
And I know that. And the crazy part is, I've had plenty fake Jordan offers handed out to me. Like, I don't do shit but go to work anyway, so I can cop a couple of pair of fake Jordans and nobody would give a fuck. But I got friends that are shoe connoisseurs.
Yes, you do.
So the minute I come around with a pair of Jordans and Jordan is doing ballet.
Hey, but you know what, Tom? You almost 40, I give you a pass. Can't even front on you, bro. I give you a pass.
No, see, now with me getting ready to be 40, I have to be authentic all the time. Because if I'm going to spend the money for it, it has to be the real thing.
Man, I ain't spending $220.
But you want to know why? Because I will buy that one pair of Jordan, probably won't buy another one again.
For $220, I could get 3 pair of Air Max.
But I can go through, but I keep shoes forever in the day, though.
I do too. Like, I got shoes I don't even wear.
Like these right now. I'm actually surprised I went and bought a fucking pair of New Balances.
Hey, New Balances clutch.
But you got to remember coming up. When coming up, if you didn't have a pair of Nikes on, dog, everything else was trash. Unless they was Ivos. Or Grant Hills.
When I was, but like the dope thing about when I was younger, like me and my mom, we wore the same size shoe.
Dog was stealing his mama's shoes.
No, my mama was stealing my shoes. See, this is how she.
I believe it's the other way around.
See, like when I was the only child, life was sweet. Like my mama was a beautician, so that was fast money off the bang bang. And then we wore the same size shoes, so she would go out and she would buy her a pair of Jordans, and then she would probably wear them a couple times, and then they're mine because we wore the same size shoe.
So you wore your mama's shoes, is what you're saying?
No, she wore my shoes.
It's okay, Juan, if you wore your mama's shoes.
She gave them to me. Look, don't put. See, you tell me not to put the narrative out that you're stealing fucking money from the company.
Look, stealing money would get me in jail. You wearing your mama's shoes would just get you a couple chuckles.
My mama wore my shoes. But we obviously...
She test drove them first? She broke them in for you?
Couple times.
That's what you're saying?
Couple times. Hey, I had every pair of motherfucking J's back then, though. Wasn't about how you got them. As long as the motherfuckers was clean. Oh, man, I miss my city. I miss my blue and white ones. See, it's certain shit that from a child, if it comes back, I'll buy it. But not at these price points, though.
And that's my whole thing. Like, these price points have gotten outrageous to the point that they know that people will buy them when they come out. And the fact that people are buying them in droves. And I get it. You want to create a tradition with your kids. You want to have something to say, my mom and my dad couldn't buy these for me as kids, so I'm going to buy them for my kids to say, look, mom, look what I did that you couldn't do for me. I'm not saying I'm a better parent, but there's progression. And then you get the ones who like, I've always been nicely dressed. I've always been into fashion. I've always had my jewelry and my makeup and all that. So you make sure that your kids are the same way too. But then that's when, which is going to be the next episode, is are we shifting our love to a materialistic value? Is what we buy the people we love more important than the love we give?
But the way you feel about niggas and shoes and all this random shit with your kids, it's the way I feel about birthdays.
Let's say that for the next episode because we already over an hour and a half. So with that being said, we'd like to thank both Mimi and Tori for joining us on this episode of the Deaf Fresh Show. Definitely make sure you check out Hostly Awkward every Tuesday and check out Real Bar Talk every Wednesday, only on Tone Deaf Radio. You can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, or wherever else you listen to your
and
pods on.
These nuts.
Deezer.
Yeah, we're on Deezer.
We'll be back on SoundCloud soon, people. I'm just trying to make up my mind if I want to pay the $15 for us to just sit over there.
What
for
the
no
fuck
reason.
are they charging us on SoundCloud?
SoundCloud has always charged you to upload more than 3 hours worth of show.
Suck my dick.
Yeah, if I want to...
We can't just upload the show on drop day and then take it down? Or
yeah, I mean, you can, but it defeats the purpose if you think about it. Like, technically, what really should happen is anybody who wants to be on SoundCloud should pay for it themselves. Because if we do it as Tone Deaf Radio, like only us, it'll put every single show we do in one huge list. So it will keep uploading every time. So it would like, let's say Mimi goes up on Tuesday. So on the Tone Deaf page, Mimi show would show up first. Then literally as soon as Tori comes out the next day, Mimi gets bumped off the list and Tori's there now. And then when we come out on Thursday, we bump Tori off the top of the list, and then you have to physically go to our page to see all three shows. Whereas and if Mimi had her own SoundCloud, Tori had his own, and we had our own, we can create all of our shows just to go on there, and it is what it is.
And they charge you $15 for that?
And they'll charge you $15 per person. That's the reason why we are no longer on SoundCloud. It doesn't make sense.
Eat a dick.
When Spotify does it for free because of Spreaker. I would rather pay the buck for Spreaker. Have this endless catalog.
Wait,
everybody's
$1?
No, $120 to be exact.
That's a lot of money.
It is. That's why when you niggas talking about I'm extraordinary shit, anything that we get coming in go right to the bills. We only made $10 last month, so I don't know where this money coming from.
I don't know either. I like
because even though, and getting back to the point of Tori and Mimi on Real Bar Talk, even though there's a commercial that plays in the beginning of it, it only gives us like pennies on the dollar for that commercial air. I have to have it run often to even generate any kind of profit.
If we had like a constant stream and then air commercials, we get paid more?
Yeah.
No, we need to do that.
So like I could put commercials in every episode 3 different times. The beginning, the end, and the middle. But we only get that penny or 2 from that commercial run if the commercial plays. So if you only hear the commercial in the beginning and you never listen to the commercial on the end, I don't get that nickel on the back end.
Okay.
So I would have to literally turn commercials on for every single podcast we have, regardless if they're syndicated or not, to benefit from it. I won't do that on the syndicated shows because then that means that any money I make on those, technically, I have to split it with the syndicated show. So if I'm only getting a penny,
don't tell them.
Like, it doesn't... Oh, this is going to get cut off anyway.
Don't tell them.
It's going to get cut off anyway. I just didn't cut it off from us talking. But...
Because we got to end the show.
Yeah. So, it is what it is.
With that wine, take us out. Is that what you're supposed to say? Are you sleepy?
I'm getting ready to say it right now until you said it for me. I was like, all right, with that being said, Juan, we have come to the end of the show, so go ahead and take us out.
My kids gonna hate me when they grow up. Because you will not know what a birthday is until you like 6. So, future baby mama, if you listening,
lies.
Don't even try to throw that little motherfucker a 1-year-old. Because what the fuck does a 1-year-old do at its birthday party?
Eat.
All we do is shove cake in his face and then we get drunk as adults. Let's stop doing that.
Stop taking that adult party from us.
Why don't we just throw a party for adults then?
No, you have to do the initial birthday party to make the drunkenness afterwards justified. Because that whole first birthday party, what starts the adult conversation on the... You know what? Let's save it for next episode. Birthdays and holidays.
Stop messing these 1-year-old and 2-year-old birthday parties as a reason to drink. You sad sacks of shit.
You don't have kids, so you don't understand the importance of it yet.
Stop it.
With that being said, we have reached the end of the show. I'd like to thank all y'all for tuning in. Make sure you check us out every Thursday or Friday. Every Thursday or Friday here on Tone Deaf Radio. With that being said, you guys have a nice night. Peace.